Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Everything Podcast, episode 22. Look at this. Today is Sunday, June 18th, and this is a very special episode of the Everything Podcast. This is the Father's Day episode of the Everything Podcast. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is Father's Day. Abso-fucking-lutely. Shout out to all the fathers out there doing their thing. I have a special message for you guys at the end of the show, and to the mothers out there also, but that's later. Right now, I would like to welcome you to the Everything Podcast. Thank you for tuning in, clicking, logging on, liking, subscribing, and or downloading, and or streaming. I appreciate you, and you may know me as Dominican Lou, or Lou from the VX, or Louis Balboa, or you may know me as your favorite podcaster, and we're here today again in beautiful, lovely, cloudy Delray Beach. And again, it is Father's Day, so shout out to all the dads. So today, what I want to do today is this is going to be a very short episode of the Everything Podcast. I don't even know if I want to actually call this episode 22, but I think I'm going to, because these little short episodes that I do, they should count as episodes, because my episode count would be higher if I did. So guess what? I'm going to start counting them now. So, again, this is going to be episode 22 of TP. And I just want to let you guys know, I love you all. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I was going to say something and I forgot to say it. Don't worry. No worries. You're still going to get your weekly episode of the Everything Podcast on Wednesday. It's all good. This is just a little something extra because, quite honestly, I am bored out of my mind. If you didn't listen to the last episode of the Everything Podcast, you don't know this, but my toe, I thought was broken, is not actually broken. I went to the doctor, well, the workers' comp doctor, because I couldn't go to my doctor. And what I was told is that I have a non-displaced fracture in my toe, and I have a chip fracture on the same toe. So those are two fractures on the one big toe. And it hurts like a bitch. I can barely walk. I've got welts on it. I'm secreting some kind of fluid. It's all very disgusting and unnecessary. And you don't need to know all the details, even though I just told them to you anyway. But the good news is that I am officially on LOA. I'm on leave of absence. That's what my job decided to do with me, because I was given sitting duty at my job, which I thought I'd just go in with my busted toe, sit in the office, print out paperwork, do signage, and then all these other things that I could do being in the office, maybe learn a little more about receiving, but apparently that's not allowed. So I get to stay home and get paid. Abso-fucking-lutely. So it's a blessing in disguise, because I did need a break. Me and my wife do need more time together, even though she's out right now and I'm home alone. So it's a blessing in disguise, and I'm very thankful for my job and the benefits that I have that I've been paying for the last 10 years, that I'm able to fall into this luck, even though I had the misfortune of dropping a very large plank of wood on my toe at work. So with all that being said, I'm sitting at home on a Sunday. I'm tired of watching TV and playing Xbox, which is hilarious, because whenever I think that I'm going to have an excess amount of free time, I say to myself, ooh, I'm going to game it up. And I play for basically an hour, and I'm like, I'm fucking bored. So I decided to do this episode. What's going to happen here is that, again, this is an episode of special episode of the Everything Podcast. I wanted it to be a Father's Day themed episode. I'm not exactly going to do a whole thing about Father's Day, but what I was going to do is that tonight is the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, WWE pay-per-view, wrestling, professional wrestling, sports entertainment. They're having a pay-per-view tonight, so I figured, what the hell, why not have me sit here and go over the card and give you my opinion, because I do enjoy doing that. Yeah, that's basically all I'm doing. I'm going to do that. I'll go over the quick news real quick. And basically give my Father's Day speech at the end of the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, this is the Everything Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Everything Podcast, the Fathercast. So, let's see if this works, because I've been having trouble lately with my interludes, drowning out my voice until they fade out. So I'm doing a little trick, and this is inside radio. Let's see if this works out any better. So I'm just going to talk baba until it fades down. So if you'd like to give me your opinion on this, you can follow me on Twitter, DoFromTheBX on Twitter, the E Podcast Show on Twitter, or you can follow us on Instagram at the Everything Podcast. So, before I do a little quick shot of the news, I just want to send a shout out to the fathers that helped raise me as a young man into becoming the person you hear before you today, Lou from the BX. I would like to give a shout out to Cliff Huxtable, Dan Connor, Al Bundy, Tony Maselli, Professor Charles Xavier, Uncle Phil, and Carl Winslow. All of you men, I thank you for showing me what it is to be a man. And without further ado, let's check out what the blood clot is going on and what is trending. Father's Day obviously is trending. The Go Ask Dad hashtag is trending. Why didn't my page decide to do what it's doing right now? This is not good. Okay. We got a fake TV dance that's trending. This is all kind of boring. I wanted something I can actually give you guys. I had some stuff here and now it's gone. That's wonderful. Well, to bring the mood down a little bit, there's a death toll rising in fucking Portugal because there's a giant forest fire happening. There's also some kind of hostage situation happening also in... I just saw where it was and now it's gone. Unbelievable, bro. What a fucking... This is the worst podcast in the world. So, anyway, guys. So, again, this is Father's Day. And I just wanted to shout you guys out. To be honest with you, there's nothing going on in the news that's newsworthy that I can give you right now. So, we're just going to go ahead and skip all that and get into my WWE Money in the Bank coverage. Yeah, baby, yes! Alright, so check it out. Tonight is the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. If you're unfamiliar with the Money in the Bank pay-per-view event, what it is there's usually championship matches, but that's not the highlight of the pay-per-view. The highlight of the pay-per-view is they have a match. It's usually a 4 or 5 or 6 person match where they all fight each other. There's ladders in the ring. They use tables. There's no disqualifications. Anything goes. And at the top of the ring, there is a briefcase hanging from there. And inside of that briefcase is a guaranteed contract for a shot at the WWE Championship of your choice whenever you want. So, if that sounds kind of simple, what's cool about it is that if there is a pay-per-view and, okay, so whoever wins that suitcase, if there's a pay-per-view or a Monday Night Raw or a WWE SmackDown happening, and at any time the world champion, let's say there's a pay-per-view, and whoever's the champion is having a match with somebody for the belt. They have a grueling match. The guy gets the crap beat out of him. He's all beat up and tired, but he retains the title. As the Money in the Bank holder, you can come in at the end of that match, cash in your contract, and have a match right there and then. So it leads to some cool situations and shit in the storyline where, you know, the heel character can go in and cash it in and on their good guy and take his championship away. And it's happened many times. It's always cool and it's always exciting, and the match is always pretty entertaining because there's ladders and people flying around and a lot of big spots and all of that. And this year, there's not one, but two Money in the Bank championship matches. There is a men's Money in the Bank ladder match and a women's Money in the Bank ladder match, which is pretty cool. Women's wrestling has progressed and advanced into, back in the day it was like bra and panties matches, mud. They'd fucking have put these women in lingerie and put them in like a fucking pool of mud and have them slather each other up and shit for the entertainment of the males. Now, things have progressed to the point where women's matches are sometimes the best matches on the card. The past 4 years has been phenomenal for women's wrestling. They've been putting on crazy matches. They've been having Iron Man matches, which is a 60-minute match, although they do 30. The championship actually, it's a cool looking belt. Number one, it looks like the regular belt, and it has actually weight to it now. It means something. So it's cool for the women. It's cool for the little girls to check that shit out, to watch this and see these women in there not just being like objects. They're actually like treated like the male wrestlers. They're wrestlers. They have cool storylines, and they have great matches. So for them to have a woman Money in the Bank ladder match, that's a mouthful, is pretty cool. So I'm kind of excited to see that first one. Hopefully nobody gets hurt. That's the one thing I always say, because those are very dangerous. Anything can go wrong, and it's gonna be pretty cool. So I believe I have the lineup for Money in the Bank. Now, the last time I looked at this page and did the lineup, it was like backwards. For some reason, they can change it whenever they want, but this is what WWE put out as the lineup for the show from beginning to end. So the first match is a kickoff match, which they have before the pay-per-view starts, and it's on the WWE Network. So if you don't have the network, you can watch that for free. And then once it's over, it's kind of like a pregame. If you're watching a basketball game, basketball game is the best example because they have a pre-show for half an hour, and then if you don't have NBA League Pass or whatever channel they're showing the game, they cut you off. So the kickoff tag team match is the Hype Brothers versus the Colognes. Now, I'm assuming because the Hype Bros, they're a tag team, they've been together for a while, and it's Zack Ryder, Mojo Rawley, and last week on SmackDown, Zack Ryder came back from out of nowhere. He's been gone. I didn't even know he was on SmackDown anymore. And he came back. Mojo Rawley's been doing this thing where he's going up to Shane McMahon and asking him for a shot. Give me a shot. You guys are not using me. Yada, yada, yada. And he gave him a match against the champion. He lost, but it was a good match. And then his tag team partner reappears out of nowhere. I'm assuming that what's going to happen here, because this is kind of a throwaway match, I'm assuming that Zack Ryder is going to turn on Mojo Rawley in this match. That's just me, because otherwise, what is the purpose of this match? This guy just came back. They're all of a sudden tag team partners again. I mean, I guess it gets them back on TV, but it's looking to me, I just have a feeling that Zack Ryder is going to turn on this guy in the match, his partner, Mojo Rawley, and then they're going to have a little singles feud, which I think will be good for both of them because Zack Ryder is stale. The guy, that whole Italian thing he's got going on, that shit's stale as fuck. It's been stale. He's been out of action for a while, so people even forgot about him. I forgot about him. So really, there's no reason to put these guys back together. They're not going to win the tag team titles. They're just not. So they're probably going to have a match. They're probably going to lose, and then Zack Ryder's going to end up turning on Mojo. They're going to fight, and then they'll build their singles feud from there. So that's what I'm assuming is going to happen there. The next match that they have listed, which is the first match of the show, is the SmackDown Women's Championship match, which is Naomi versus Lana. Now, Lana is Rusev's manager. I've never seen Lana wrestle ever. There's been a few times where she takes off her shoes and she runs after the other guy's valet who he's feuding with, or she tangles up with another, like if they have an intergender match, she won't wrestle at all, but she'll like do a spot where she takes off her shoes and tackles the other girl and starts punching her in the face and shit. That's something that basically any valet does, so that they can get somewhat physical, but they're not actually wrestling, and they're not actually wrestling and have the chance to hurt somebody. Now, Lana has been billed because they just did the whole splitting of the brands. So Lana was on Monday Night Raw. Now she's on SmackDown, and along with Rusev, who's been injured, so he hasn't shown his face either. So she's been having these vignettes, and I hope I said that correctly. She's been having these little video cues that they show during SmackDown. Lana's coming, and it's like her doing like a dance routine with a chair, with her new music and shit. And it keeps saying Lana's coming to SmackDown, but I'm like, okay, she's not a wrestler, so fuck is she gonna do? Like, if she's not coming back with Rusev, what the hell is she doing? So last week, she came out. Finally, she came out. She debuted. And she said she wanted to get herself involved in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And they did a spot where all the girls start laughing at her in the ring. Like, kind of laughing to the side. And she gets pissed off. Like, why are you laughing at me? Whatever. And they're like, yo, you've never had a match. Like, how are you going to try to get into a ladder match? You've never wrestled. So later on, Naomi, who's the champion, had a championship match, and Lana came in, interfered. She put her in a kind of what looked like a 187, and I'm just gonna fuck it. If you don't know wrestling, then you're listening to this, I thank you, but it's a little difficult for me to explain it generally in layman's terms when I can just explain it in wrestling terms, which is a lot easier for me. So Lana basically picked up Naomi and put her like in a 187 position. And she did some kind of move where she drops her down on her back. It was a cool looking move. And it was surprising. The announcers really sold the fact that she just made a wrestling maneuver. And it looked good. It didn't look forced. She did it pretty quickly. She didn't like hook her up and then sit there and go, okay, I gotta put her arm here and her leg here and then do this. Like it looked good, which was surprising because she's never done anything like that before. So I'm a little confused about this match. Is she gonna come out here and actually wrestle? Did she practice like 5 moves that she's gonna do during this match? And are they actually gonna give her the title? Because I don't know what's going on in this match. Because like thinking about it, because the way I look at these matches, I don't look at it like, obviously wrestling is scripted. They already know who's going to win, who's not going to win. But when I call these things, I look at not only the characters and the storyline, but I look at it in the sense of, does it make sense for A, B, and C to happen? So when I look at these cards and I do these preview shows, I look at all that combined. So I don't just look at it as, yeah, this guy's the good guy and this guy's the bad guy, so this guy's lost, this many times, so he's going to win. I look at that. I look at a bunch of other things all together at once, and then I call it. So what I'm looking at with Naomi is that she's had the belt for a while. These are things that I think about before I make a prediction. She's had the belt for a while. They're doing a Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So somebody's going to now, the women are now going to have someone who has a shot at the title whenever they want. Lana just came back. This is her debut match back on SmackDown, on the SmackDown brand at their first pay-per-view since being out. So is she going to come back and lose? It doesn't really make sense for her to come back and lose. So, and since this match is first, they're not going to have the Money in the Bank ladder match they're not going to have the Money in the Bank in play, so nobody's going to cash it in on her. So either she retains and continues on, or Lana comes in and actually makes a splash and beats her and has the belt. And then somebody cashes it in on Lana, which is kind of stupid. I don't know why you would cash it in on Lana. These are all the things that I think about all together. So I kind of overcomplicate it, but sometimes I get them right. And sometimes they surprise me. Sometimes they go way left of what I was thinking. So for this match, I'm just going to go ahead and call Naomi, because I think it's more interesting for someone to cash it in on her than to cash it in on Lana. And I don't know exactly where they're going with Lana, and they can't just put the belt on her when she's never wrestled, and all of a sudden she's just going to now be a wrestler and they're going to give her the belt. That just is a bad look for, in general, it's just a bad look for all the women who are busting their ass, and you're just now going to give it to this valet I'm pretty sure she didn't decide she wanted to wrestle. That was a management, decision that was made. But, I see Naomi going over on this one. She's badass, and she got the glow and all that. So I'm calling for Naomi to win that match. The next match that is scheduled is the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match between the Usos and the New Day. Now, the New Day just came back from being out, because they also came over from Monday Night Raw. Now they're on SmackDown. This is a SmackDown pay-per-view, so it's only SmackDown superstars on this pay-per-view, so you won't be seeing Finn Balor or Roman Reigns or Dean Ambrose or Seth Rollins or Brock Lesnar or any of those people. These are all the other guys. So the New Day just debuted on SmackDown a couple weeks ago, because they have 3 members, and one of their members, who's a pretty active wrestler on that team, was injured. He's not injured anymore, so now they're back. And immediately they get thrown into the tag team title picture, because they're the longest reigning tag team champions ever. I think they had the belt for like 312 days or 329 days, something like that. 300 something days. Almost a full year. They actually might have made it the whole calendar year, if I remember. So they're having their championship match against the Usos. And it would be a little surprising for them to win already, but I can see it happening, because they're gonna, I'm assuming we're gonna get a debut from a certain tag team from NXT. I'm assuming that they're gonna make their appearance on SmackDown. I'm not gonna say who it is, because I don't know. No, I'm just talking shit. I'm assuming that they're gonna feud with someone else. The Usos have had the belt for a while, but the tag teams, the division is not the best division on SmackDown. They got like a lot of clowns on in the tag team division, like the Hype Bros and the Colognes, who are on the pre-show. They got the freaking Breezango, and they got American Alpha doing absolutely nothing, which is probably one of the best tag teams ever. As far as working goes and performing, those guys are phenomenal, and they're not even using them. So I don't know what's going on with that division. I couldn't even call this match if I wanted to, but I'm assuming the New Day are going to win it, because it's the freaking New Day, and they want to put the belts on them because they're extremely popular. They sell a lot of fucking merchandise, yada, yada, yada. So the next match that's on the schedule for this event is the Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, the people in this ladder match, the women in this ladder match, I'm going to go ahead and name them off, are Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Natalya, Tamina, and Carmella. What's cool about this is that 3 of the women in this match are second-generation superstars. You got Charlotte Flair, Ric Flair's daughter, Natalya, who is the daughter of Jim the Anvil Neidhart, and Tamina, who is the daughter of Jimmy Superfly Snuka, rest in peace. And they're all very talented. Charlotte Flair is amazing. Natalya is very good, but she's been doing it for a while. She's good, but Charlotte Flair is by far the best out of all these girls. Becky Lynch is also very good, but she's more of like a brawler and a woman suplex machine, if you will. I I would assume that they're gonna go with Charlotte Flair for this, but these things can go anywhere. They usually the person you think is gonna win the Money in the Bank ladder match is like the person right there at the end, and then someone else wins it. So meaning like Charlotte Flair and someone else will be climbing the ladder, and the other person somehow will end up with it, and they go with that person. Because to be honest with you, Charlotte doesn't really need to win this. I mean, if there's another thing you want to give her, like another accolade, another medal that she can put on her her sash, then you can give it to her. She'll be the first woman's Money in the Ladder match. She'll be the first winner of the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. She was the first. Was she the first women's champion? I believe she was the first women's champion. Because when they changed the belt over from the Divas Championship, they named it the Women's Championship. I believe she was the first winner of that. She's already won the title 4 times. She is the first winner of the women's Iron Man match, the first women's Iron Man match. So she's got like her jacket is pretty stellar. So if you wanted to continue that trend, they could already go ahead and give her, set her up to win this. But she doesn't need it because she's Charlotte Flair. She's already over as fuck. She's got the talent, so she's always going to be in the title picture. So she doesn't really need the Money in the Bank. She doesn't need the freaking Money in the Bank champion, the briefcase. She doesn't need it because someone else can. That plot device, because that's really what it is. It's a plot device. Because whenever that person appears with that briefcase, it's like, oh, are they going to cash it in? Is this going to be it? Because only 2 people out of, I think it's been like 15 or 16 Money in the Bank winners. I think only 2 people have not been able to cash it in. Like, they tried to cash it in and they failed. One of them was John Cena. I can't remember who the other one is. I think it might be, it's a guy who no longer is with the company. He's in TNA now. I can't remember his name. The freaking, damn, I don't even know if it's him. I can't remember his name anyway. It doesn't matter. Yeah, so it's basically a plot device, that briefcase. It's whenever you see that person, it's like, are they cashing it in now? Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? We're going to have a new champion. So it helps the person who has it. So you would think that they would give it to someone who needs that extra step to move up. And I would like to see that person be Tamina, but I have a feeling they're going to go with Carmella. And Carmella's terrible. She's from NXT. She used to be in like a group with Enzo Amore and Big Cass. They were like a trio. They got called up to the big leagues. She stayed in NXT. Now she's in the big leagues, but she's on a different show. So she's got this dude that's with her, this little nerdy guy that's with her that helps her win matches and shit. But she's not good. I've never seen her do anything in the ring that's impressed me. I don't know why she's in the title picture. I don't know why because she's not popular. People fucking hate her. Or the people that don't hate her, they're just like, oh, hey, it's Carmella. So I don't know why maybe she works really hard. I don't know. But she's not good. And I have a feeling that she's going to get it. Because Becky Lynch was the first SmackDown Women's Champion. So she's had the belt already. So it would be cool if she would have the briefcase. But usually you give that to a heel character, a bad guy character. That way when they cash it in, it's more expected. Because you're kind of a dick if you're a good guy and you cash that in on somebody who's hurt. Because it kind of makes you look bad as the good guy character. So unless they really hate the bad guy character, in which case it doesn't matter. But the lines, it's not like how it used to be back in the day. There were good guys and bad guys. Now it's just everybody's like basically a tweener. At any moment you could be booed or cheered or whatever. Ask Roman Reigns. So I get the feeling, because they're not gonna. Charlotte doesn't need it. Becky Lynch has already been champion. Tamina is kind of like, she's stiff, and she doesn't really need that because she's very big. She's like a big girl. I mean, not a big girl like fat, like she looks huge. She's way taller than the other girl. She's like wider. She's got big shoulders. She looks like buff. So she doesn't really need that because she could just kick someone's ass. She doesn't really need that briefcase. So I'm assuming they're going to go with Carmella. And I'm not really keen on that, but you know, this is what they do in WWE. Sometimes they push people who they really shouldn't. And I hate to say that because I'm pretty sure she works hard, but I'm assuming that she's going to end up winning that match. So again, I'm going to go with Carmella for Money in the Bank ladder match. That's not what I want, but that's probably what's going to happen. The next match is actually the WWE Championship match, which is Jinder Mahal defending against Randy Orton, the guy who he beat to get the belt. This is a rematch. No special kind of stipulations in the match. Just a regular championship match. And I don't see Jinder Mahal losing right now. They put the belt on that guy. They're making him a monster heel. He's doing a great job as far as promos, and his ring work has improved greatly. He's huge. He looks intimidating. Randy Orton's already had the belt like fucking 14 times. I think 12 times, actually. He's a 12-time champion. There's no need for him to have the belt again. He just had the belt. This is just like a storyline thing where he's calling in for his rematch. I'm pretty sure Jinder Mahal's going to win somehow, some way. Because right now, supposedly, and this is one of those things, another thing that I look at that weighs into my decisions that has nothing to do with the storyline. WWE's trying to make a big push in the market in India. So that is why they put the belt on this guy in the first place. So that he can go do the India tour and photo sessions and all that and go on shows and all of that, yada, yada, yada. So they're in the midst of that right now. So I don't think they're going to take the belt off this guy right now because he's hot. He's hot. He's got a hot streak right now. His character's very good. This India thing is what WWE wants right now. So I don't really see them taking the belt off a dude. Not today. So I'm going to go with Jinder Mahal. He's going to win this in a pretty brief match. I don't think it's going to go long either. Nothing really special to say about this. It's Jinder Mahal's going to retain, and that's it. Maybe he retains by cheating because he's got these two flunkies that are with him. These two guys that were in NXT. They were in NXT. They were I believe they were the Bollywood boys in NXT, and now they're just their names, which I don't know their names. I apologize. So they're probably going to win with some deception there. And they'll have Jinder Mahal retain. That's who I'm picking because there's no way. I don't see Randy Orton beating him for the belt because it just wouldn't. I mean, looking at the next match, there's a lot of faces in the next match. I don't see any of them going at it with Randy Orton. Randy Orton is also a face. So Jinder Mahal to retain. And the next match is the last match. This is a very short show. I don't know if they're going to add a match or something in this because usually these are a little longer, but it looks like this thing's going to be very brief unless the matches are going to go long. The next match is the man's Money in the Bank ladder match, and the participants in this match are as follows: the United States Champion Kevin Owens, the phenomenal AJ Styles, the Lone Wolf Baron Corbin, the underdog of the underground Sami Zayn, the show-off Dolph Ziggler, and the artist known as Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, I read all of those off the top of my head. That's how much they have me programmed right now. Those are all their little nicknames. Now, so Kevin Owens, probably one of my favorite wrestlers. I got like 3 of his shirts. I don't normally buy wrestling shirts, but as of late, I have bought a few, and I have 3 Kevin Owens shirts just because the designs are really cool. I'm very picky when it comes to shirts. I don't really like shirts with like dudes standing on the shirts and whatever. So the shirts that I do have are just like designs of the logo, which is cool. Kevin Owens right now is the United States champion. There's no way they're going to have him win the Money in the Bank ladder match, have the Money in the Bank briefcase, and be United States champion. And no, it's just not going to happen. So just with that, there's no way he's winning this. If he wasn't, I would highly assume that he was going to be the one to win. But it's not going to happen. AJ Styles is the same basically as Charlotte. AJ Styles is the most popular wrestler almost in WWE completely. But definitely on SmackDown, he's the most over. He's right up there with Shinsuke. He's extremely over. He's a phenomenal wrestler, no pun intended. He doesn't need the briefcase. And also, he's a good guy / face. So, for him to have the briefcase and cash it in on someone, it's very rarely do you have the good guy cash in on another, I mean, it could happen, but I'm just looking at all these factors. Again, like Charlotte Flair, AJ Styles doesn't need the briefcase. He's AJ Styles. He can jump into any match and he can compete for any championship because he's just AJ Styles. He's the most popular guy. He's the best. He's beaten almost everybody, so he can get the shot. Baron Corbin is an up-and-comer. He's improved a lot in his work. He's a bad guy, a heel. I wouldn't think that he's got a shot at winning this thing, but he could be as a quote unquote not an underdog. Well, I guess like an underdog, but like he's got a shot in the dark at doing it, and he could be like a surprise winner because it would be a shock if he did win. If he won, it'd be like holy shit, they put it on this guy. So and he would be cool because as a bad guy, he can come cash it in on whoever and just play that scumbag card. So Baron Corbin, he's got a pretty good. I'm not gonna pick him, but if they do go with him, I'm gonna be shocked. Sami Zayn has no fucking shot at winning this thing. Sami Zayn has a job in WWE, and it seems to be a very specific job, and that is to be the guy who can almost win the big one. He's a guy that you put out there to, and it sucks because I'm not saying it's right because he's talented and he's cool. His character's cool. He's talented and shit. His moveset is pretty cool. His matches are always good. He works hard, but they seem to have this guy in a bubble where he is the guy. If you need someone to work the crowd in such a way where they think he has a chance to win, but he definitely does not, that's the guy that you use. So if you want the crowd to get excited and to think, oh my God, he might win, and then he loses at the end, this is the guy that you use. So I don't think they're going to give him the Money in the Bank briefcase. It's just not going to happen. Dolph Ziggler, same thing. He actually won Money in the Bank once, but that's when he was he was on a hot streak. This was a couple years ago where he was hot. The crowd loved this dude. He had a little stable going on with AJ Lee and Big E Langston, and that was the time to do it. Right now, the work that he's doing is great. He's a great wrestler. He's a great performer. He's a good seller. He's great on the mic. He's got a good look. But there's just something there that for some reason, whether he's a good guy or he's a bad guy, he just can't cross that threshold to retain titles and hold it down. And I don't know what it is. I couldn't put my finger on it. I just don't know. I don't know why he's unable to do it, but for some reason he just never does. And they give him a push, and then the push turns to nothing. So he's definitely not going to win that shit. And that leaves Shinsuke Nakamura, who is the new guy. the artist known as Shinsuke Nakamura is the name that they're trying to push on us to give him. This dude is very charismatic. He's a great wrestler. He's a great performer. He sells like hell. His mic skills are for him not being able to speak English too well. He speaks English fine. He understands it fine, but it's not like, you know, it's not great. So his mic skills are always a little. They're like, his promos are very short. When he's in the ring with someone else, they don't let him talk for too long. He just says a quip or a quick punchline, and that's it. And they keep it moving. So basically, what they let him speak in the ring. It kind of looks like, if you're on the outside looking in, it kind of seems like they're gonna go with him to win, and that way he has the briefcase. That would be pretty interesting. But I'm just unsure that they're gonna. I'm unsure that they're gonna give him that push. I really don't think they're gonna do that, because he's already over as shit with the crowd. They sing his entrance song the whole time he's walking out. He's over. The fans love him. Everybody loves him. He's got respect. He's loved. And so if he doesn't win it, it's not gonna hurt him. But if he does win it, it would push him over a little bit. So, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go with Shinsuke Nakamura and wrap this thing up. I think he's going to win. I'm going to go with him. That's my wild shot. That's my how do you say? That is my WWE hot take for the day. I'm picking Shinsuke Nakamura to win Money in the Bank ladder match. Goddamn right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is my wrap up of the show. That is basically it, because that's all the matches that we have. So, we'll see what happens at the end of the night. If you agree or don't agree with me, you can hit me up on social media and send me your thoughts on who you think is going to win. And you can laugh at me when the complete opposite happens, because that's usually what happens. So, guys, I have a little message. A little Father's Day message that I want to put out there. And I'm going to be doing that right now. So, Maestro, if you would hit the music, please. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on the Everything Podcast. I would like to bid you all adieu, but before I do that, I just want to send a special message out to all the fathers out there. Fathers, thank you for your tireless efforts, for those rainy days, picking up your kids from practice, changing those tires, giving fatherly advice, and just being standout men and raising these young boys and girls into just standout human beings. I appreciate you, and I hope you all know your worth, and I hope that today you enjoy your day, because it is your day. Enjoy your day to the fullest. Eat up that barbecue, get you a nice cold Corona, put a lime in it, and relax on this glorious Sunday. Happy Father's Day. Ladies, thank you for standing by your men. We all appreciate you. And thank you. Single ladies, I just want to send you a message and let you know, not all single ladies, excuse me. The single ladies out there who try to appropriate Father's Day into their own day with their own agenda. No. You are not mom and dad. You are a phenomenal mother. But let fathers have their day, for fuck's sake. And kids, when your mom tries to pull that I'm mommy daddy shit, You let him know.
You're not my dad. You also hear something. Ugly ass fucking noodle.
That, my friends, is the best advice that I can give. And this is the Everything Podcast, episode 22, Father's Day edition. I am Lou from the BX. And always remember, anyone can be a father, but not everyone can be a fucking dad. I'm Lou from the BX. I am out. Peace and love.